for the season 15 finale of Hardwood Heroes. I'm Ashley Fry.
And I'm Andrew Bowlby. We have been with you all season long, and we've been talking about tonight for quite some time, and it is finally here.
Yeah, tonight we're giving you 60 minutes, and we've got a lot to cover. We're going to hear about all of our teams for the final time this season.
And we're also going to get into Friday's game with the Waterford girls in a Final Four for the 8th time in 11 years.
And we have teased our awards the past couple of episodes. For tonight, we will finally reveal our players and coaches of the year,
as well as our rising stars and all heroes. These are some big players and coaches who made major impacts this season, and you won't want to miss it.
But before we get into the awards, we have a team full of big players to talk about, and that is the Waterford Wildcats. Waterford is 2 games away from the school's 3rd state title.
And this nearly flawless revenge tour has been marked by tournament domination. And now joining us to break down Waterford's Final Four matchup is reporter Charlie Ehlenfeld.
Thanks, Bowlby. In the last decade, Waterford has reached the Final Four 7 times.
Yeah, and they take care of business there. Waterford has won an impressive 66% of those games.
Mogador and Waterford, 32 minutes, all for a trip to Dayton, pure electricity in Dover. Waterford got the battle of the Wildcats started with Avery Wagner. The senior center paced Waterford with 13 points, 8 rebounds, and 5 blocks. Julie Tompkins was Mogador's lifeline in the first half, scoring every point for Mogador. To the Mogador with 14 points and 5 boards. But they didn't have any answer for Elsie Malik, who was lethal from 3. Waterford ahead 23-9 at the end of the half. Mogador started to find their footing in the 3rd. Amelia Morris gets a friendly roll and a bounce. Mogador at last finding their groove. But Kendall Surrey responds, driving into the lane, spinning and finishing. Waterford ahead 35-18 after 3. Haley Klester open here, 3, bang. Waterford still holding the lead, but Mogador had managed to claw into Waterford's advantage. Amelia Morris open in the corner, count it. The score cut all the way to 11 after Waterford's huge first half lead. Waterford needed an answer, and they got it in the form of some Surrey deja vu, spinning and finishing to cement the Waterford win 48-34.
So we saw a bit of drama at the end there, but Waterford pulls away and wins regardless.
Yeah, and that came in spite of a bruising game for both teams.
Yeah, for a second game in a row, multiple starters fought out for Waterford's opponent. Waterford's typical brand of defense was tough for Mogador to crack, and they managed to hold them to only 9 first-half points.
Now, Waterford did a little bit of everything. Blocks, steals, pressure. These Wildcats had their opponents locked down in the first half.
And this all fed from an outstanding performance underneath from Avery Wagner.
You know things have gotten out of hand when a girl having 5 blocks in a game seems routine. Mogador was yet another squad that had no answer for her in the paint.
And Waterford is a bit too familiar with their next opponent, Fort Loramie.
Yeah, despite Kendall Surrey's heroics last year, Waterford suffered a 13-point loss in the title game. The good news is the Wildcats are tearing through this year's bracket. From the district finals to the semis to the Final Four, Waterford has controlled every game. In every category, Waterford has lapped the field.
Yeah, the Wildcats have been winning games by an astounding 22-point margin.
Not to mention, it's not exactly close across the other categories.
Yeah, Waterford has nearly doubled up their opponents in every statistic. So based on the numbers, Charlie, it has been yet another incredible year for head coach Jerry Close.
Yeah, somehow he's managed to take a team with sky-high expectations and blow them out of the water. And year 20 at the helm, this may just be his most complete team he's ever assembled.
Playing the toughest schedule of any TVC team, according to the OHSAA, Waterford earned a nearly flawless 26-1 record. The squad boasts the best defense in the TVC once again, and Close earned yet another Hawking title this year, his 10th in 11 years. This has all come on the way to another state title appearance, with a chance for Close to earn his 3rd state title at Waterford. But that's all in a year's work for Jerry Close.
Well, congrats, Coach Close. That's why you're the player of the year. Well, Coach Close, that's exactly why you're the player this year, and, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, and, the first question I want to ask you, you told me a crazy story that, it's hard to believe when you see now. In your first year as a junior high coach, you didn't win a single game. What's it feel like to be right here, right now, one-loss team going to the state final?
Well, it's really rewarding because in the first year that we coached, neither the 7th or 8th grade teams won in junior high. So it's been fun to watch the program grow, and that's one reason why I got into the program, to hopefully build a nice program and have a lot of success.
Yeah, and clearly the community has responded. These gyms have been absolutely packed, and you mentioned to me, this isn't as hard of a job as it seems because the community's been so great. What's it like to get that kind of response from the Waterford faithful?
Our community is always great. It's been that way ever since I've been there. We have the biggest crowd in the gym pretty much every game that we play, and it's just really great to have that community support.
Yeah, and one thing with this team, only one loss this year. That Sheridan game, you haven't even lost in 2025 yet. What do you think the team took from that game, and why have they been cruising ever since?
Well, sometimes you learn more from a loss than you do a win, and I believe that's what these kids done. And they would love to play Sheridan again. That's what they talked about, after that loss. So, it really helped us build maturity, and they don't like that losing feeling. So they got right back in practice, started working hard, and it's been great results ever since.
Yeah, and you mentioned how the seniors are just relentless this year in their preparation. What has it meant to coach them, and how special has this class been?
Very, very special. I said these three have made such an impact from when they come into the program as freshmen. Two of them played huge roles in the state tournament win that year, and they're just such great leaders. They've been great leaders all the way through. They've learned what the upperclassmen taught them when they were young, and they have just more than carried their load throughout this year.
Yeah, and one final thing, Coach. What keeps you coming back for more? You've won so much already.
Well, I'd like to tell you it's my wife loves it, but it's the thing, it's building the keeping the program strong. I really enjoy the kids. The community, just keeping things strong. I want to keep this program going, and I just like the way everything's come together. My assistant coaches, the players are good every year. Parents are great. It's just really fun.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Coach. Very well deserved, and it's been a pleasure covering you all year.
Thanks, Charlie.
I'll send it back to the desk.
Yeah, now another great coach in our coverage and a previous Coach of the Year winner is Athens girls head coach Phil Koska. And Athens reporter Zachary Knight has witnessed Koska in action for years. And Zach, you just saw him finish up his last season with the Bulldogs.
Yeah, that's right, Ashley. Koska's been at the head of the Athens girls team for the last 4 years, and he turned the program around, leading them to 2 TVC Ohio titles. But now he's stepping away as head coach. His impact on the team, however, goes a little bit deeper than the records.
Back here, I'm coach, dad, friend, out there on the floor, I'm just the coach.
Phil Koska has been the head coach for the Athens Lady Bulldogs for the last 4 years, but now he's stepping down. The season before Koska arrived in Athens, the team only had 4 wins and finished 6th in the TVC Ohio. This year, they finished with 18 wins and claimed the conference title for the 2nd year in a row.
I mean, I'm super proud of where we started and where we are now, because I just wanted, to leave it in a good situation.
Koska began coaching Athens during senior Asa Holcomb's freshman year, and this year, Asa reached the coveted 1,000-point milestone. The two have developed a bond both on and off the court.
I mean, Asa's a great kid. I've enjoyed her from the day she stepped in here for tryouts. I've watched her evolve into a leader, and she's kind of that silent leader, and that's probably the best part of that for her is she led by example. There was nothing she wasn't willing to go do herself.
Despite the Bulldogs moving on without these two, they still have players that can ensure a bright future for the Bulldogs.
There's still 4 sophomores on the team. There's 3 juniors on the team. We're going to lose Asa, obviously, but they're going to be able to keep going.
Those 3 juniors he mentioned are Quinn Banks, Ella Chapman, and Olivia Smart, and Koska is confident he's leaving the team in good hands.
I just always enjoy coaching those 3. They're fun to watch, and they all do different things, and that's what's great about those girls.
It was important for Koska to leave at the right time, but ultimately for him, the decision came down to one factor: family.
My wife asked me every day for probably a month, are you making the right decision? And every day I'd say yes. And then as the season got closer to coming to an end, I'd think about all the good things, and I'd get excited or emotional. And then I'd think about, well, what's the reasons you're not wanting to do this anymore? And they always outweighed. I felt like I did everything I could for the program as far as leaving it all on the court. Hope the girls remember that I always had snacks for them. And I tried to make it a light and positive place for them to be able to come to and enjoy the game as they, came here.
And Zach, Koska leaving isn't the only change the Athens girls will see this upcoming season.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be tough to fill the shoes of players like Asa Holcomb, but Athens does have some girls that are ready to step up to the task. We've got to start with sophomore Bristol Stump, who's been the reliable sixth man for this team. She put up 8 points a game this season, along with 3 rebounds, and will likely end up filling Ace's spot on the floor. They'll also still have the defensive threat brought by sophomore Lex Kupel, who finished this season with 10 points and 10 rebounds a game.
Yeah, and I know next year Ella Chapman, Olivia Smart, and Quinn Banks will all be seniors.
Yeah, and they'll be the core of this Bulldogs squad. They each bring something to the team, like Koska said, and they'll all be crucial to the Bulldogs' success next year. Quinn is the leading scorer with 12 points a game and can get the job done on all 3 levels. Ella's a defensive asset that can still pick up some points when they need her to, and Olivia's a quiet scorer that can keep Athens alive in some of those tight games. Athens hasn't yet announced who will be taking over as head coach, but whoever gets the job will have a strong foundation of players ready to compete for that 3rd TVC title.
Yeah, they absolutely will. Thanks, Zachary. And while coaching changes happen less frequently, every year these teams say hello and goodbye to both new and old talent.
Yeah, Ashley, watching these teams grow and change, whether it be coaches or players, is a part of the job. And NY reporter Donovan Varney has been with NY for the past 2 years, and you've witnessed a lot of the growth and change from that team.
Yeah, you know, Bobby, it was this time last year that I handed Era her 2nd straight Player of the Year award, right? And this year's a little different. No Era Levy on the show, but someone's game does remind me a little bit of hers, and her name is Maddie Pidcock. Side by side, the 2 guards may look different, but their play styles are nearly the same. One of Levy's specialties was using her speed to get inside to the basket, and that echoes in Pidcock's game too. Both of them can blow by defenders on their way to 2 points. Not only that, but they've got a nice touchdown low. The floater shot is used by Levy and Pidcock often throughout each contest.
Yeah, you can tell that despite the usual height difference down low, Levy and Pidcock are good at creating their own shots.
Exactly, and you can see them really excel at that from behind the arc. Whether it's a step back, catch and shoot, or spot up, they're automatic. Era was no stranger to the 3-point shot, and it's clear she's passed that trade on to Maddie. Pidcock says confidence is key, and she's been telling us that since before the season.
Yeah, well, I knew, like I said, I had to step up a lot this year, and with Era leaving, I knew that a lot of our points were going to be gone. And I knew I had confidence in myself that I could go out here and score.
Say that the confidence between her and Elena Okulish this season is there. The 2 score 61% of their team's points.
Yeah, exactly. And play styles aside, Era and Maddie are both had great sophomore seasons, and their numbers are strikingly similar. If you take a look here, both guards finished the season around 13 to 14-point range in scoring, and on top of that, Pidcock had 12 games with over 15 points, while Levy had 13. Only big difference is Pidcock out-rebounds Levy by just over 2 boards a game. And mind you, after this season, Era took a leap in her scoring and won Player of the Year not once, but twice. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Pidcock take a similar route.
Yeah, we'll certainly be watching close. Thanks so much, Donovan. Ashley, Maddie Pidcock was a standout for the Buckeyes this year, even being an underclassman.
Absolutely right. The young stars around the entire TVC are critical for their team's success. And the best way to make an impact is to start from the moment you step onto the court. And the 5 ladies you are about to see do just that. It's time for us to reveal the girls' All Futures team.
First up for the All Futures girls team is Maddie Pidcock from Nelsonville, York. Maddie is a sophomore starting point guard for the Lady Buckeyes. Although young, Pidcock played a crucial role for the Buckeyes this season, averaging 13 points, 2 assists, and 5 rebounds per game, while shooting 32% from the field. On top of being a 2-year varsity letterman, Maddie has also made the TVC Ohio All-League team for the 2024-2025 season. With still 2 more years left in her high school career, Maddie Pidcock is a player to watch out for in the coming seasons.
In years past, Waterford has relied on freshmen to power their state title runs. Brindley Popmeyer is the latest addition to a squad known for freshmen playing like seasoned vets. The freshman point guard averaged 5.9 points per game, 3.3 rebounds per game, 1.6 assists per game, and 1.5 steals per game. She shot an impressive 43% from the field and 31% from 3. This freshman led the way in Waterford's victory over undefeated Marietta with 16 points and 6 rebounds.
Up next, the Alexander Spartans sophomore guard Lily Ryder. She led the team in scoring with an average of 14 points per game, being a reliable asset to the Alexander squad, which helped lead the Spartans to be second in the TVC Ohio, going 10-2 in conference play. Ryder is a consistent scoring threat, notably her double-double against Nelsonville York, putting up 19 points and 10 rebounds. Not only was she all over the offense, she credits her defense as the glue for her performance playing aggressively on the ball. Ryder has made the TVC Ohio All-League team for the season.
Next up in the girls' All-Futures team is freshman Braylon Simpson from Eastern. In a season with only 2 wins, Simpson was a bright spot for the Eagles. She was not limited to one position, being listed as a guard, forward, and center. She was the team's leading scorer, averaging 13 points per game while also grabbing 8 rebounds a game. Simpson was a lockdown defender, swiping 2 steals a game. She picked up some hardware, earning TVC Hawking All-League in her freshman season. With 3 years left, the future looks bright in Reedsville.
Our final girls all-future is Athens High School Bulldog Lex Kopel. Kopel's a sophomore star who played varsity for both seasons. She also played in every game this year and averaged about 10.3 points per game. She was the #1 rebounder for the TVC Ohio with an average of 9.8 rebounds per game, and she also ranked 4th overall in the Ohio High School Athletic Association Division III basketball for blocks per game. Kopel's strong defense was a crucial part of the Bulldogs' success this season, ending with another TVC Ohio title.
Those 5 are sure to continue to make waves in the upcoming seasons, but only one can take home the Girls Rising Star of the Year award. And here with me to let us know who that is, we've got reporter Noah Kevin.
Thanks, Ashley. The Alexander Spartans just had their best season yet under Coach Morgan Grinstead, and a huge part of that success was our Girls Rising Star of the Year, Lily Ryder. All right, we've got Lily in studio now. You were on the All Futures team as a freshman, and now you're the Rising Star of the Year. So what does this award mean to you?
I'm just very thankful to receive that award. I can thank my teammates and coaches for pushing me every day in practice and just being a better player in person every day.
All right, all season long, Coach Morgan Grinstead called you the go-to guy. What's it like to have that kind of responsibility as only a sophomore?
I like that responsibility a lot. I like taking charge on the court and every day in practice, just being able to step up as a leader and having my teammates be able to trust me and knowing that I have all of their backs every day.
And we've seen you take charge on courts like that when, for example, when you put up 19 points, 10 boards against NY, 12 points in a quarter against Southeastern in the playoffs. You know, what's going through your mind when you're on fire like that?
Normally I feed off from my other teammates, just getting the team going. Once I start getting steals on defense, everything just starts picking up and everybody just starts playing well as a team.
And like you just said, it's no secret that your guys' defense was the key to your success as a team. How do you thrive off of that defensive success?
Just getting steals and run out layups. I think our press is a big key to our game. If we're not in our press, we don't get a lot of action going off steals. So I think that's a big important thing.
All right, you guys just made the district final for the first time since Coach Grinstead took over. How awesome was that, and how are you guys going to try to build off of that next year?
It was definitely really cool to be able to get that far. None of us have really ever played in that big of a game before, so just being able to get there has just showed us that we can do it, and I think just getting there next year is going to be our goal.
All right, well again, congratulations, Lily. Here is your trophy.
Thank you.
We cannot wait to see what these next 2 years have in store for you.
Thank you.
When we return, hear more from our TVC Ohio reporters about their team seasons, and we'll reveal our all-boys, all-futures team and the Rising Star.
Plus, we'll announce our Boys Player of the Year. Could it be the new kid on the block in Megs, an Eastern Eagle leading a historic season, or will a longtime Viking bring home the award? All that and more after the break.
For more than 70 years, WOUB Public Media has been the place where people in our region turn to learn how stories of the past ignite the imagination of the future. It's where information, entertainment, and education work together to inform, enlighten, and inspire generations. It's the place where the community gathers to hear and see our world in new and innovative ways. WOUB, the public media you trust that's worthy of your support.
If you don't drive it, donate it and support something you use every day.
I'm a queen. I don't fear anyone.
This was a woman people wanted to follow.
You are an important part of our work. You're stronger than you know. Saddle my horse immediately.
She's a female trailblazer.
We did it by acknowledging our own worth.
Oh, please, do continue.
Every team needs underclassmen depth to have success in a long season, and we already gave you the 5 girls we're looking forward to seeing.
Yeah, but now we have to talk about the boys. These 5 are going to be key components of their respective programs within the coming years, so this is your All Futures boys team.
To start off All Futures is none other than Waterford's sophomore superstar, Finn Pennick. With 4 sophomores starting this season, the Wildcats leaned on Pennick to step up in a leadership position, and he did not disappoint. Pennick finished off his second season starting every match and racking up an average of 12.2 points and 5.5 rebounds per game while shooting 35.5% from the field. He also put up 38 buckets from beyond the arc. With Pennick claiming a spot on the All-TVC Hawking team and back-to-back recognition for All Futures, you can definitely say next season is bright for this underclassman.
Returning from last year's All Futures team is Trimble sophomore guard Brady Jasek. This season, he became the star of the young Trimble team. He led the Tomcats in scoring with 16.6 points per game, while also adding 5.4 rebounds and 3.2 assists per game. His best performance of the year came against Belpre, where he scored 21 points and hit a buzzer beater to secure the upset. Jasek was named to the All-TVC Hawking team and will look to continue leading the Tomcats next year.
Rounding out the boys' All Futures team is Stewart's very own Ren Ballou. The forward for Federal Hawking has been a bucket getter all season long. Working his way into the starting lineup as the season gone on, Ren Ballou is proven to be a key centerpiece for Federal Hawking moving forward. The freshman ended the year with 12.1 points per game, just under 1 assist a game, 1 rebound a game, and just under 1 steal a game. And as a Division 6 District 13 honorable mention, he has put a lot of on on notice and will continue to grow for Federal Hawking.
Next up on the list is Alexander's Jace Cooper. Cooper was the lone freshman to be selected to the All-TVC Ohio team. He was also Alexander's second leading scorer this season with an average of 10.6 points per game. On top of that, he averaged 3.5 rebounds and 2.4 assists. Cooper had the ability to step up in late game situations and delivered in the clutch for the Spartans on a regular basis. You put all those together, and there's no question why he's a member of our All Futures team.
Next on the All Futures list, we have Athens forward Weston Wheatley. Weston is a versatile sophomore that uses his skills to consistently help get the best possible shot for his team. Averaging 11 points, 4 rebounds, and a steal a game this year, he was able to find a place on the Southeast Ohio All-District 3rd team. After the current seniors graduate later this year, he's right in line to take over as the face of Athens basketball. His continued growth will be vital to helping the Bulldogs maintain success in the near future, which landed him a spot on our All-Future squad.
A very strong lineup. I mean, these boys put up some numbers this season.
Oh, absolutely. And one of these players stepped up as a leader during a transition year for his team.
Yeah, and here to announce our boys' Rising Star of the Year is Trimble reporter Ty Carpenter.
And Ty, no one has stuck out more for this award than a flashy guard from Gloucester.
Yeah, after an all-future selection last year, our boys' Rising Star improved in every single stat category, and it's Tomcat sophomore Brady Jasek. Trimble opened the year with a new head coach and an entirely new starting lineup. Right after wrapping up his first season as the football team's starting quarterback, Jasek took his talents and leadership to the Hardwood.
Whether it's on the gridiron or on the basketball court, nobody has stepped up more for Trimble than sophomore Brady Jasek.
I feel a lot more comfortable in the moments this year than I did last basketball season. It just continued to get better and better every game.
As a freshman, Jasek was the Tomcats' 6th man, finishing with 10 points and 4 rebounds a game. A year later, he's the quarterback of the football team and the basketball team's leading scorer, putting up 17 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists a game.
He's got to do a little bit of everything, and some nights he's got to do a little more of that everything stuff.
First-year head coach Tracy Blevins has seen Jasek's potential from the beginning.
You know, and I tell kids, our players all the time, when God handed out athleticism, he just put his finger on Brady for a little bit longer than he did the majority of us.
his improvement hasn't gone unnoticed by his teammates. As an upperclassman, junior Paul Sharp is proud of Brady's growth over the year.
Yeah, I mean, it's really good to see Brady get even better than he was his freshman year. He just continues to improve, and I love seeing him do good.
Junior Luke Osborne has been playing both football and basketball with Jasek for years and recognizes his leadership.
It's good. I feel like he handled it pretty well for being like an underclassman, and he's very mature, and he just has the abilities to do it.
Having played with each other for so long, the two have grown close.
Me and Brady, we've been playing together for our whole lives, so I feel like we have pretty good chemistry, and I feel like we trust each other.
Luke, sometimes get tired of him, all his jokes, but he's just he's a fun guy to be around, a lot of those guys.
Success can lead to a lot of pressure, but if you ask Jasek how he handles it,
honestly, it's just a lot of my teammates trusting me, and I trust them to have the ball in their hands too, so it's just, the feeling's mutual, and it just means a lot that they trust me, have the ball in my hands.
And despite the success, he doesn't let it get to his head.
Brady's a humble kid. He knows that he's going to be interviewed, and he knows he's going to get all these accolades, but you know, he doesn't let it get to his head. He handles it the right way, and his teammates do as well.
All right, and now I'm joined by Brady Jasek. So congratulations, Brady. It's been a long road here. What does this award mean to you, and is there anyone you want to thank?
Honestly, it just means a lot. I want to start off by thanking my parents, my grandpa, all my teammates, Coach Blevins. He's been great. It was a rough year for us, but he was there for me the whole time.
Yeah, so then coming into a season where you were one of the few guys left with starting experience, what has it kind of been stepping into that leadership role?
Honestly, last year I felt like Coach Jeff Coons was the assistant last year. He always said I was a leader last year, maybe not as much of a vocal role that I had to assume this year, but maybe just like more of a setting an example for some of my other teammates. That's what I always try and do, just set a good example for them to maybe see what I do and follow that.
Yeah, and then of course, legendary head coach Howie Caldwell leaves the program this season. Coach Blevin comes in, and he's spoken highly of you. What has he meant to this team, and how has he helped you grow this season?
I've played for a lot of good coaches, and in my life, I had great coaches in elementary. My grandpa, Greg Bayhoff, was a great coach. In junior high, I had Eric Tabler, was also a great coach, and in high school now I have Coach Blevins. It just means a lot. We're all very, very happy for Coach Blevins to be here with us.
All right, well, Brady, I want to thank you for coming in, present you with our Boys Rising Star Award. I'm going to send it back to Bowlby and Ashley.
Jasek rings in a new era for the Trimble boys. Another one of our teams is preparing for one of their own.
Yeah, Vinton County is saying goodbye to a crucial member of their team in Cooper Sharp, but they've got underclassmen talent ready to fill the void he will leave.
And here to tell us about both the past and present is reporter Jack Swizinski.
Yeah, guys, next season officially kicks off a new era for the Vikings. One Viking got the opportunity to play a crucial part in two different eras of Vinton County basketball, Cobra Sharp. Sharp has been a starting player for this team for 3 years, being handed the keys to the offense as a point guard in his sophomore season, playing with former VC stars Garrett Brown and Ashton Allman. Sharp is a dangerous rim runner who isn't afraid of some contact, which became even more lethal when matched with Ashton Allman's size in the post and Garrett Brown's ability to score from anywhere.
Yeah, this VC team graduated 9 players last year. How did Cobra manage as the team's go-to guy?
He knew a jump in ability would be needed, and he delivered. His points per game increased by 9 as he took over as this team's leading scorer, going from 13 points per game to 22. He was also this team's leading rebounder and best defensive player, as well as second in assists. Sharp was prepared to take over and lead the younger players, doing his part in extending VC's streak of seasons over 500 to 25 years. Sharp continued a long line of dominance from VC and looks forward to seeing some players step up.
I think it was a lot of them guys like Nash Yates. He stepped up big time, and those other seniors coming in there. Luke Demmel had a good year. Josh stepped up in the second half of the season. Jace Moore off the bench. He definitely he's gonna be somebody to look for, and yeah.
So a lot of names that Sharp just mentioned. Jack, who of these are ready to step up the way that VC needs?
Nash Yates and Josh Montgomery. Yates ended the season with 9 points per game, 4 rebounds on 34% shooting and 33% from 3, while Montgomery ended the season with 7 points per game, 3 rebounds on 31% from the field and 32% from the arc. With the end of the season comes the end of a dominant career for Cobra Sharp, and Nash Yates and Josh Montgomery are ready to take over.
Yeah, very excited to see what this team can do. Thanks, Jack.
Yeah, arguably their biggest competition in the Ohio is the Megs Marauders, who retain the bulk of their talent.
Yeah, and after such a historic season nonetheless, and Megs reporter Lucy Schaefer is here to tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, guys, and this team was not complete without one of its standout players or its new head coach, Ryan Davis, and his son, Carson. Now, that basketball relationship started early. Carson really was born into basketball. Now, Coach told us his wife went into labor with Carson during a game he was coaching in. Now, Carson began playing when he was just 4 years old, and him and his dad have been on that journey together from the beginning.
He was born during my first year at Chesapeake. Renee's water broke during the third quarter of one of our games. And it was against our rival.
Megs head coach Ryan Davis and his son Carson's relationship began inside a gym in Chesapeake, Ohio, where Carson grew up and learned the game of basketball.
He got to see everything we built at Chesapeake. He got to see great teams that got along great on and off the floor. He got to see guys progress from their freshman year to their senior year. So him coming in here indirectly, he knows what a great basketball team should look like.
After 15 successful seasons with the Panthers, Coach Davis got an offer from Bloom Carroll right when Carson was starting high school.
I was okay with just stepping away from it and being done with it. And they said, no, you've done this forever, so how could you stop now?
Going into his first season with his dad as his official head coach, Carson knew what was going to be expected of him.
I was going to have to take it more serious with my dad and just work harder if I wanted to be what he wanted me to be.
And that hard work paid off. The pair went 29-19 in 2 seasons at Bloom, and Carson earned a spot on the All-District second team and the All-League first team during his sophomore year.
He didn't play a lot early as a freshman. He was probably close, but he had the disadvantage of me knowing him and his deficiencies, and I really think if he'd have got to play earlier, it would have killed a little bit of his drive.
Last summer, the Davis family made the move to Pomeroy. The expectations stayed the same.
I don't think we have the same coach-player relationship as every other coach and player just because ours is so demanding and we expect so much out of each other.
Megs went 22-2 this season, winning their first conference title since 1987. With Carson's junior year done, the two are looking forward to next season.
Continue to make stories, continue to win, have some stuff to tell my kids about what Grandpa used to say to me back when I was in high school.
While their career playing together will be over after next season, Coach Davis is looking forward to what will come after.
I would just get to be dad and say, I'm looking forward to see you play, but now it's all on your shoulders.
Truly a one-of-a-kind relationship, and thanks to it, Megs experienced success unlike what they have in years. Now behind the Davises, again, truly an unforgettable season for the Marauders. Can't wait to see if they'll top it come next year.
Yeah, with those two, it's sure to be an exciting one. Thanks so much, Lucy. Yeah, Carson and Ryan Davis are just one of the many boys coach and player pairs that have turned the TVC level of play on its head this season.
Yeah, the players this season specifically made some serious noise, so it's time to reveal which 5 stood above the rest.
Yeah, this is our Boys All Heroes team.
Starting off our Boys All Heroes team is Vinton County senior Cobra Sharp. In his last year, he was the heart and soul of the Vikings as he led the team in scoring with 22 points per game. He also led Vinton County in rebounding with 6.5 boards per game, and was second in assists with about 4 per game. Overall, he made quite a seismic jump from his junior year, writing his name into the history books by reaching the 1,000-point mark. He earned an All-TVC selection and played an essential role in the Vikings' second-place finish in the TVC Ohio.
Coming in at the number 2 spot for our Boys All Heroes team is Eastern junior Colton Lloyd. Even though he isn't a senior, he has picked up his leadership role on the floor, averaging 14 points, 6 rebounds, and 2 assists per game. In his junior year, Lloyd has made great improvement from last year, earning first-team All-Conference and first-team All-County, and led the Eagles as a captain. Lloyd's improvement was showcased this season by his ability to create shots and finish through contact.
Up next, we've got junior guard Alec "Rookie" Thompson from Nelsonville, York. The Buckeyes needed him to step up with the loss of guard Keegan Swope, and he did not shy away from the challenge. Thompson averaged 15 points, 4 assists, and 2 steals for NY this season. His elite ability to score around the rim created so much opportunity for the offense, which helped lead his Buckeyes to third in the TVC Ohio for the third year in a row. Thompson will now aim to earn his team a TVC Ohio title in his senior season.
Up next on our All-Heroes boys team is Meg's sophomore Reed Brinegar. Even though he's only in his second year, Brinegar has turned heads with his play style just as he did last season. He's picked up 18.2 points per game, 6.9 rebounds per game, and 2.9 assists per game. He also leads his team in steals with 42 on the season. These standout numbers earned him a spot on the All-TVC Ohio team and the Division IV All-District First Team. Brinegar is a staple in Meg's program and will look to continue his success in his junior year next season.
Rounding out the boys' All-Heroes team is Meg's junior forward Carson Davis. This was Davis's first season with the Marauders and he made his mark. He led the team with 19.6 points per game and 8.4 rebounds per game. He stands at 6 feet and 8 inches, giving him a major advantage over his opponents, especially in the paint. Davis is also a team leader on defense with 17 blocks on the season. He was named to the All-TVC Ohio team as the most valuable player and will look to continue his contributions in his senior year next season.
Now, similar to the Davises in the Ohio, there is another father-son coach-player duo in the Hawking that just simply dominates the rest. And here to talk about this familiar pair, we have Eastern reporter Stephen Crowley.
Yeah, Ashley, I am so honored to announce that Eastern's Greg and Colton Lloyd are your 2025 Hardwood Heroes Boys Coach and Player of the Year. And while the father-son duo deserves all the credit, they wouldn't be here without family. Colton and Greg Lloyd began as a player-coach duo at the varsity level 2 years ago when Colton was a freshman and Greg was an assistant coach at Eastern. The Eagles had a combined 8 wins in just those first 2 seasons. This past year, Greg took over as head coach, leading Eastern to 15 wins and their first sectional title since 2013. This season was so big that it just seems like everyone is taking notice.
I had a teacher the other day at school, he's like, man, basketball is really coming back at Eastern High School, and I mean, that was big to hear.
Behind every great coach and player, there is a reason why. For the Lloyds, it's because basketball runs through the entire family. Next to Colton is his teammate and cousin, Derek Barnes.
Like, even when we were really young, we'd play on like the little mini hoop, and he'd just destroy me and I'd start crying.
Now, while Colton and Derek play together, their fathers and another pair of cousins, Greg Lloyd and Ryan Barnes, have been coaching the boys since the age of 5.
It was fun teaching them the fundamentals of the game, and they'll aggravate me sometimes, but it was fun. I never dreamed we would be doing this at this level.
Ryan is now an assistant coach on the varsity team with Greg, but to add even more, the Barnes and Lloyds all reside on a farm together, and that brings us to the mothers. Valerie Lloyd and Jessica Barnes are sisters and both 1,000-point scorers for the Eastern girls basketball team.
I just really loved playing basketball. It was my favorite sport because I played basketball, volleyball, and softball. And it was by far my favorite. Just following in her footsteps because she's 3 years older. So she had a really good basketball career in high school.
And with so many Hoopers in one family, basketball has been one way to bring the whole family together.
Growing up, we've always been outside shooting on the hoop, you know. My parents would be on the porch, me and Emma would be shooting together.
And while Eastern is gearing up for their most anticipated season yet, Greg and Ryan both make sure they don't let coaching get in the way from what really matters, which is family.
I don't know how to say this, but even though we're coaches, we're still their parents or their dads. So they know we're there for their best interest.
I'm now live in studio with Colton and Greg, our boys player and coach of the year. And just what a journey it's been for you two. Just tell me first, what does these awards mean to you both?
Well, this is Colton.
No, Colton, go ahead.
It means a lot to me. I just want to thank God, first of all, you know, giving me the opportunity to play with my teammates. I just want to thank my dad and my uncle, Coach Barnes, and my teammates for helping me on this journey.
Yeah, it's been very special. I mean, you know, thank God first for the ability to do this. But it's really, really cool to coach your son, even though it wasn't expecting this time in my life, you know. But, you know, it's just been a blessing to me to watch him grow up and through all the years.
Yeah, and I mean, Colton, I'm going to start with you. It seems like since your freshman year, you've just been improving so much every single year. But this year, it seems like a different fire has been fueling you. Just tell me, what led to this great season for you?
You know, winning 4 games in the past 2 years is a lot of motivation build up. And just being consistently in the gym, you know, playing basketball year round, it just helps me get to where I am.
Yeah, and I mean, we've talked, and you have such a big group that you've known for quite some time returning. And just what are you so excited for your senior year?
I mean, we're going to have 10 seniors, which has been my best friends my whole life. And I think our chemistry is good. You know, we've always grown up playing together. And I feel like heading to my senior year, it's going to be really good.
Yeah, and now turning over to Greg, I mean, coming into your first year, just having such a tremendous season, just tell me, what was your mindset going into the year?
Well, first off, the parents bought in to the program, and the kids bought in. So getting a good summer program going and getting in the weight room, getting a lot of shots up, getting that team bonding concept. You know, we get a lot of kids play baseball, got a lot of play football, but getting them in the gym together and building that, and then having the community to support you behind you is huge. You know, you heard Mr. Close say about that. That's the same thing we got at Eastern. So that was huge.
Yeah, and then what are you looking forward to next season in your second year?
I'm looking to build off of what we have now. You know, we lose 2 big seniors, Gavin Murphy, who's a 15-10 player, and Brady Rockhold, you don't see it on the court a lot, but he's a good leader in the locker room at the practice. But the experience that we got in the tournament this year, I think that we'll grow on that and build upon that, and the boys have been there now, so I think they won't be quite as shell-shocked next time we get there. So.
And then here are your awards, Greg first, and then here you go, Colton.
Thank you.
Congrats, guys. Thank you for both being here.
Thank you.
Another award in the books, but after the break, we'll take one more look at the historic season the Federal Hawking Lancers put together.
And we only have one award left to hand out, and it's a big one. It's our Girls Player of the Year.
Could it be the Lancers' own Brenly Cottrell, or will it be one of Waterford's stars like Kendall Sawyer or Avery Wagner? Find out when we come back.
This fire is different. I'm weathered host Maya May, and we're on the ground talking to survivors, first responders, and experts who are living through one of the worst fires in American history to see what happened and how the people of LA are fighting back and adapting to a hotter, drier, and more dangerous reality. Weathered, inside the LA firestorm.
I hear the echoes all through the meadows. Breathe in and let go. That sweet surrender. I've been running, running, running all through the night. You can knock me down, but I've got my will to survive. Rise up, rise up.
Together, we can make real change happen.
Welcome back. The Lady Lancers have had one of their best seasons in school history, securing their first district title since 1989.
And that got them a place in the regional semifinal, becoming only the 4th squad in school history to do so. FedHawk reporter Gavin Carrig joins us now. And Gavin, what a season it's been for these ladies.
Yeah, guys, now I've been covering this team for the past 3 seasons, and I remember 2 years ago when they were knocked out by Rock Hill in the sectional final. Since then, this team has taken huge strides. Now, FedHawk began this year with a 91-86 win over Monroe Central and didn't look back once they got going. Dropping 91 to begin the year is a crazy start, but then they hit a little bit of a rough patch, losing to both Waterford and Belpre. Now, they ended up dropping both games on the year with Waterford, but they did split that season series with the Golden Eagles after beating them by 28 at home.
Yeah, and with games against powerhouses, Waterford, Chippewa, and Marietta, those are some great building blocks before the postseason.
No doubt, and you can see the impact right away, taking care of Valley 52-24 before then avenging last year's district final loss against Portsmouth West. Now, they did ultimately end their season against Harvest Prep, but there's still a ton to be excited for.
Yeah, some great games in there, but player-wise, they don't really lose too much.
Yeah, now they do graduate guard Jilly Osborne, and she'll be a big miss, but they've got players ready to step up. And it all starts with sophomore stud Brownlee Cottrell. She's a what can't she do type of player. I mean, 17 points a game, 5 rebounds, 4 steals. But the Lancers, they return a lot of their talent. Takira Walker averaged 9 a game and really helps facilitate their offense. Junie Ballou showed a lot of growth down low in the paint and on the glass. And don't let Rory Taylor get going from beyond the arc. She's tied for second best on the team in 3-point percentage.
Yeah, and what about some more underclassmen from this year?
Yeah, sophomores like Michaela Nelson and Taylor Snedden are huge for this program, and Coach Cottrell knows they can step up.
Just having all of our young kids back. You know, Takira will be a senior, June will be a senior, Rory will be a senior. And then we've got some young kids that will step up next year, like Taylor Snedden, Ellie Needs, Ren Morris. Those kids are going to step up and fill big roles. And we talked to our freshmen in there. Like they've got to have a summer.
Guys, with a full summer of growth for these ladies, don't be surprised to see them playing at a high level again next season.
It'll be great to see that progress. Thanks so much, Gavin.
Speaking of Lady Hoopers making strides, we've got one more award to announce tonight, and it is all about the girls.
Yeah, but before we get into the Girls Player of the Year, let us introduce the Season 15 All-Girls Heroes team.
To kick off our All Heroes girls list, we have Federal Hawkins sophomore guard Brownlee Cottrell. Last year, she was selected as the girls' rising star, and she continued dominating during her sophomore campaign. She averaged 18 points, 4 assists, 5 steals, and 5 rebounds. This year, she took her team to its first district championship win and regional semifinal appearance since 1989. After a strong season, she picked up an all-league selection for the TBC Hawking, a Girls Ohio Prep Sports Writer Association D6 Player of the Year and First Team selection, and an OHSBCA All-District First Team selection.
Staying inside the TBC Hawking, up next is senior guard for the Waterford Wildcats, Kendall Surrey. Kendall has been a weapon on the Waterford offense, scoring 12 points per game, 5 rebounds per game, and 2.6 assists per game. She helped the team conquer the Hawking again this season, and in so doing, she was awarded the TBC Hawking Player of the Year. Kendall was also placed on the First Team All-District Award, as well as being named one of the 2 Players of the Year. Her accolades don't just stop in the regular season, as she would drop 26 points in the regional final. Kendall will continue to play basketball at the college level.
Next up, we have another dominant guard in Athens senior Asa Holcomb. In her farewell season, she averaged 11.9 points, 6.6 rebounds, and 3.8 assists per game. Holcomb led the Lady Bulldogs to back-to-back TBC Ohio titles in her junior and senior years and is the backbone of this Bulldog squad. She led in assists and steals per game for Athens and thrived at setting her other teammates up for successful performances. Holcomb took home Player of the Year honors for the TBC Ohio and etched her name in Bulldogs history as the 10th athlete to score more than 1,000 points.
Following Holcomb is another senior star, none other than Nelsonville York forward Elena Okulich. With only 2 seniors on the NY squad this season, the Buckeyes leaned on Okulich heavily, and she performed week in and week out. In her senior season, Okulich averaged 14.6 points per game and 9.1 rebounds per game while shooting 42% from the field. Her best performance this season came against Wellston, where she dropped 29 points and grabbed 10 boards, leading her team to a 69-39 victory. Okulich earned both TBC All-League honors and All-District Special Mention for the 2nd year in a row for her efforts this season.
To round it all up, we have 6'4" center for Waterford, Avery Wagner. Wagner is a 3-level threat, hitting threes left and right and driving into the paint, averaging 12.7 points per game, 9.9 rebounds per game, 2.5 assists per game, and also 2.5 blocks per game. Wagner hit 1,000 points this season and was a huge milestone for her. Avery Wagner earned both TBC All-League and All-District First Team honors in her final season, putting on the Wildcat jersey. This earned her a spot on the girls' All-Heroes team.
I think it's safe to say these girls just do it better when they step on the court.
Yeah, but which one comes on top? Well, you're about to find out.
Yeah, and here to announce our Girls Player of the Year is once again Charlie Ehlenfeld.
Yeah, this girl has won just about everything there is to win in Southeast Ohio.
Yeah, 3 district titles, 3 regional titles, 3 state appearances, and a championship.
Yeah, our 2025 Player of the Year, Avery Wagner. And this year, she and a teammate entered Waterford history books.
And I mean, we've been playing together since 3rd grade. Her dad and my dad helped coach us together on the same team.
Avery Wagner and Kendall Surrey began their time at Waterford by helping the school earn its 2nd state title. This year, they both entered an exclusive club, 1,000 career points.
It was great, like the teammates around me that helped make it happen, and then once I scored that basket, it really just felt like everything was falling into place like I've always worked for.
But they have meant far more than just the points they've scored on the floor. Head coach Jerry Close praised how their leadership allowed Waterford to defy expectations this year.
They played a really hard schedule, and we just
relentless in the way that they prepare. And, you know, I never thought we would be a one-loss team at the end of the season, and they found a way to battle through, and they've helped the young kids when they were making mistakes. They picked them up.
Close praised their selflessness, both willing to take a back seat to help the team.
That's due to their leadership, and they're still playing their roles, and they're still playing great defense even when they're getting shut down on the offensive end. So we've seen that both ways with Avery and Kendall both getting shut down a couple times this year. So, but they just do whatever it takes, whatever's best for the team.
The pair has traded unforgettable performances throughout their careers. In Wagner's junior year, an iconic 25-point, 25-rebound game against Parkersburg South. This year, 23, 16, and 6 blocks against Federal Hocking, and 11, 16, 8, and 5 assists against Marietta, not to mention 38 and 15 versus Unioto. She finished with 5 Hero of the Week performances across her high school career. Surrey has become a tournament legend. As a freshman, she led Waterford in scoring in the state final. The next year, she had 21 in a district final loss and stacked outlandish stat lines on the way to Dayton last year. 23 against Newark Catholic, 18 against Berlin Highland in a game-tying shot at the end of regulation, 17 against Loudonville, and despite the team losing, 19 against Fort Loramie in the state title game. This time around, she's doing it again, 16 against Clay and 26 to beat Highland again. Wagner and Surrey have lit up scoreboards and raised banners for 4 years, but they still have a chance to earn one more piece of history.
This year it's our last chance, and we want to be that team, that has 2 rings. We want to be that group of girls that, we go down in the school, the community history where it's like they got it done.
And right here I have our 2025 Girls Player of the Year, Avery Wagner. Congratulations. And as we just saw, you've played with an incredible senior class. What's it been like to play with these girls?
They're amazing. I mean, we're all like sisters now. I mean, the whole team, we really have a true bond. It feels like a family.
Yeah, and, obviously last year ended in heartbreak, but the way, Coach Close said you guys prepared this year was relentless. How much fuel did you get from that, loss at the end of last year, and, how has it fueled this season?
Yeah, I mean, last year we accomplished a lot, but it really hurt to get so far and at the end, come up short. So I feel like this year we're here to get it done, and we want that ring this year. Yeah, and you have so many upsets in your career. An undefeated victory over Newark Catholic last year, Marietta this year. Upsets on the way to Dayton against Berlin Highland. Why is this team always able to defy expectations? We want to come in as the underdogs. We like to go in there and prove a point. So I think that just gives us more motivation to go out there and win.
Yeah, and one final thing, what was it like to call your shot and basically manifest getting this game against Loramie again?
Yeah, I have a lot of trust and confidence in my team, and I knew this year we're going to go in there and work our butts off to get back to where we are now.
Yeah, thank you so much, and here's your award.
Thank you.
We're counting down our top 10 plays of the year that our cameras captured after the break.
So don't go anywhere because we have the best of the best from TVC Ball coming at you next.
If I'm gonna do it, it has to be something original.
Don't let anybody tell you who you are. You know who you are. Now go be it.
Lights, camera. My prayers has been answered at last.
Amen.
We're just trying to keep tradition going.
We're coming out hot.
You ain't never seen nothing like this, like this.
There's about to be a whole lot of love in this kitchen.
This is beautiful.
Lights, camera. It's time to make some magic.
These are special moments.
Sing along if you feel like it. I mean, not too loudly, but sing.
I'll talk the same, the situation.
Now, we promised you top plays, and now we're here to deliver.
Yeah, we've highlighted some heavy hitters for you guys all season long, but these 10 and the players that made them, well, they're just different.
Starting with number 10, Trimble down 1 to NY in overtime, but no need to fear. It's Abby Weber from the corner. She drains the game winner and then jogs away like it's nothing.
And number 9 comes from Trimble's main man, Brady Jasek, with a spinning floater over defenders. Get this kid on a dance team. He is nice on his feet.
Number 8, we're heading out to Megs against Athens. And when Carson Davis gets the ball, well, you should just get out of the way. Throws it down with authority. Davis is fired up, letting everyone in the gym know it.
And Lily Ryder's going to take number 7 for us against a tough Athens girls team. She's going to bring it down and then a beautiful Euro layup right there. Did anyone else feel that breeze? Because this girl is cold.
All right, let's go out to Waterford for number 6. End of the first half, and the Wildcats get the ball down the floor, and it's newly crowned Hardwood Heroes Player of the Year, Avery Wagner, knocking in the buzzer beater, sent the Wildcats into the locker room up big.
And number 5, we've got Eastern Eagles like a well-oiled machine. They're going to pass it out to Ethan Edwards right here from Caitlin Clark range and a buzzer beater. Ethan Edwards.
Number 4, we are going to get the first assist of our list. Ball's going to pop out, but no problem. Cam Sullivan with this ridiculous no-look behind-the-back pass. That is an easy lay-in for Grant Elliott.
Now we're going to head into the top 3. And fun fact about cobras, they are venomous creatures and live in Southeast Asia. But this one lives in Southeast Ohio and is nasty. Cobra sharp with perfection right there. Not much more to say about it.
And at number 2, we're going to back to NY. Buckeyes down 3 on the road in Athens. Alec Thompson brings the ball up, but give me Bean Martin from outer space to tie the game. NY won it in overtime.
And at number 1, Brady Jasek again with the game on the line.
Hello, goodbye, knock me down, there you go.
Take a trot. Well, it's hard to believe that we are here, but our season has come to a close.
Yeah, thank you so much for welcoming us into your homes week after week. We could not be more grateful.
Yeah, to all the players, coaches, teams, and communities, you are what makes this show what it is.
Hardwood Heroes will be back next year to continue bringing you all TVC basketball coverage you could hope for.
Yeah, but for the last time from us, we're reminding you
to be heroic.